So Microsoft Teams, this is what it looks like for me. This screen will look different for everyone because this shows you all of the different teams that I am currently part of, teams that I own, or even public teams that I have the ability to join because they've been made public. There are a number of different teams in here, but we're going to focus on one that I created, which is called Team for Webinars. Before we start, though, you need to know how I created the Team for Webinars team. I'm going to say that word a lot today. It's going to get annoying. So this is our basic Teams environment. What you see is what you get. In the upper right-hand corner, we do have some customization options. You have a filter. It looks like a little funnel. If we click on that, this will show me just specific types of teams. Now our default is all, but you could just look at staff teams or you could look at any other teams. There are 4 different team types. And what team type you create is going to be dependent upon what you're trying to accomplish. If you came to the first webinar, you were introduced to the Administrative Resource Center. I'm very proud of it. We launched at the beginning of September, and this is really your one-stop shop for any documentation on the different services that we offer through the OCIO, Office 365 being a big one. The OneDrive for Business page, we have a couple of different things on here. I don't know why it's on that. It should be on Teams. So I'm going to move over to Teams real quick. I think it's because I uploaded the last webinar. All right, Office 365 Teams. All right, we're going to look in our job aids super fast. And under administrative guidance, we have one here called Team Types. There are 4 different team types: class, professional learning community, staff is the one that we use here most often, and then there's other. If you want to know about the different team types, this document will talk about the different features and what the overall goal is of that team type. Knowing what the goal is helpful in deciding which one you're trying to use. The big thing to point out here is if you do use a class team type, it does not connect to Carbon Canvas, so you would actually have to manually transfer over that information. Professional learning communities, and like I said, staff. This is the one that we use most often. But there's a lot of stuff on here. I like to bring people in to show them the team types since we're talking about the team types, but there's other things I get questions on all the time. Which account should I use to log in? How do I share with somebody at the medical center or vice versa? What should I use? Zoom, Teams, Skype for Business. It seems like we have so many things out there. So lots of articles in here. There's also a settings button back in your team environment in the upper right-hand corner. Looks like a little gear. It's more options. If you click on that, you can get in and actually manage your teams, and you can switch your view. If I go into manage teams, any team I'm part of will be listed here, even if I'm not the manager of the team. I just won't be able to do any type of management activities. But I can see, I'm a member of the Administrative Resource Center. There are 11 people in there. It is a private team. I can hide or show it in my team's splash page that we saw previously. There's a more options button here on the right-hand side. We're not going to do any of that yet because I haven't taught you how to do those, but that's how you can get into managing teams that already exist. All right, let's make one though. Back on the main Teams splash page, there's a button in the upper right-hand corner that says Join or Create Team. If we click on that, this is going to show me the teams that are open that I can join because they're public. It will give me a field to enter in a code. When someone is creating a team, they can make it so you can only enter if you're invited, and generating a code is one way. We're going to go ahead and create the team. Now, like I said, 4 different team types: class, PLC, staff, and other. I'm going to stick with staff. And we're going to give our team a name. Make certain it's descriptive, especially if it's going to be a public team that everybody can see and try to join. If it's a private team, a little more leeway. All right, I'm not very creative this morning or this afternoon, sorry. You could description in to let people know what this team is all about. I will be deleting this when we're done, so privacy. Only team owners can add members or public. Anyone in your organization can join. I'm going to keep this private. I don't want everybody joining, well, especially if we're in the middle of a webinar. You can also create a team using an existing template. And what this means is if you're already part of a team or you have already created a team that is configured a certain way, you can base this new team off of all of those old previous settings. So if I click create a team using a team as a template, you'll see the other teams I have access to. This is great if most of your teams are all set up exactly the same. I'm not going to go do that though. All right, next screen, you should add people to the team. It's kind of lonely in a team all by yourself, I promise. So you would start typing in their last name. We use their username or their full email address. I have to sneeze, I'm so sorry. Or their full email address if they're not part of Ohio State. As long as they are using Teams, they can be a guest in ours at Ohio State, the university. I'm going to add Teresa. And I can add other people too. I'm going to add Rick Hunter. You might freak out a little bit. All right, and then I'll hit add. You'll see that they are all listed down below, and the default is that they are just a member of the team, but you could elevate someone if you wanted to. Maybe, if my screen will show, to an owner. Sorry about that. But I could make Jason Pollock an owner of the team or Rick Hunter an owner of the team if that's what I desired. You also can, of course, change those settings later. I'm going to leave everybody as a member and click close. And this is our new team. Now, the basic setup is you have a team avatar in the upper left-hand corner. It grabs letters from whatever the name of the team is. We can change that though. You have a default channel called General. Everybody that's part of the team has access to that channel. You'll see some tabs across the top. I'm currently in the General channel, so that's why it says General at the top. Posts are any conversations that have occurred in this channel, in this team. It's chatting, instant messaging. By default, since this is a staff class that I created, there's going to be a staff notebook. This is Microsoft OneNote. So if your team or you are a heavy OneNote user, there's full integration. So let's say I've created this team and now I need to manage it. I would love to continue to work in this beautiful team that we created, but unfortunately it takes a little bit of time for all the stuff to kind of be created in the background. So some of the features I'm trying to very quickly use might not work. So I'm going to jump out of this team and I'm going to go back to the one that I already had established so I know all the features will work properly. You'll see it looks pretty similar. It's the same thing. However, you'll notice that I did change the avatar in the upper left-hand corner. I made it the Microsoft Teams logo. So that's one of the things that you're going to learn how to do. So let's manage this team. On the left-hand side, we have the name of the team. Mine's called Team for Webinars. And there's the More Options button on the right-hand side. When we click on that, we get an action menu, which will allow me to do different things to the team. Remember the Manage option I showed you back on that splash screen before? Basically, I'm going to get into the details of this specific team. So that Manage before was all of the teams. This is now managing the details of this team. When you get into Manage the Team, the first thing you're going to see are the list of all of the members. And you can see Jason, myself, and Teresa are all in there. And I guess I accidentally gave them all owner status. I did not pay attention, but I can demote him very quickly to a member, and I can demote Teresa as well if I wanted to just a member. There's no rule that says you have to have a certain number of owners versus members. I'm always of least access necessary is the best. Across the top, you'll also see any pending requests. So if your team is not public, but somebody wants to join, and let's say another member invited that person in, you would have a pending request as the owner. So you would go here and you would either approve or deny the request. Channels, this will show you the different channels that have been created inside of your team. So let's briefly just talk about what a channel is. Teams are a way of organizing small groups of people to collaborate and share information. We're used to that. We've done lots of massive collaborations through Buckeye Box. Some people have collaborated in other tools as well. But what Teams allows us to do is have our whole entire organization and then create little subsets of groups of people that can work together. And that's what a team does. Well, sometimes inside of a team, you also have smaller groups of people that need to work together, maybe on just an individual project, or only certain members of your team need to have access to certain files, or only certain members of a team are going to meet every week on this very specific project. Those are all things that can be controlled through Teams and using channels. Now, as I said, the default channel is general and everybody has access to that. But I created another channel in here called Project Documents, and I'll talk to you about how to get into creating another channel here in just a moment. That means that I could add people to that channel, and only the people in the team that are in that channel will have access to it. And from here, I can control who can see the different channels, and I can go in and I can manage the different channels. You'll notice I can't change anything about general. Everybody has access to general. But project documents, I can shut it off so other members can't see it by taking the check mark out of show for members. I've done that when I'm building a channel that other people are going to use but aren't ready to use it yet. I'm certain there are lots of other uses for it. You can see the description of the channel made, last time activity occurred, things like that. So overall channel management, we'll add channels, I promise. Settings, these are settings for the team. This is where you can add a team picture and change things, right? As I said, I set mine to the Microsoft Teams logo because since I build the documentation, I have lots of those logos, but you could change it to something else. Maybe your department has a logo or an icon that reminds you of your group. You can take a look at the different member permissions and what people can and cannot do. Guest permissions, tagging, or what they call at mentions in Teams. I've always called it tagging, so who can use those and who can't. Then we've got the team code. Remember I showed you before, joining a team, you can provide people a code. That's where you would get it, this team code. Some fun stuff. Emojis and GIFs. I've never shut those off. I like them. You can manage how the staff OneNote notebook functions in here. And tagging. Some of these you'll use all the time. Some of you are just not going to care about them. All right, under analytics, this is a great way of seeing, I created this team for everybody to use, and I added all of the people to the team. Are people using the team? So you can go in and you can take a look. I've got 4 users, 8 app integrations. We've had no meetings, good, because it's just a test team. We're really not a lot of activity in this test team, but maybe in another one. I'm going to go look real quick. Let's try this Parent Connect group. I probably can't. I think it's public. No, I can get to the analytics. That's good. All right, so you can see a little bit of activity, a little more than what we had in my test webinar, but this allows you to see, are people actually using your content, or is this a waste of time? And actually, you can increase engagement once you know what you're working with. All right, let me get back in there. Anything else? Apps. I've been getting a lot of questions about these in email. I cannot tell you what the approved apps are. I can tell you that the process to request an approved app is out there. I will try to put it in the chat. I can chat. I'll put it in the chat. All of your questions need to come into the Q&A, which you guys are doing. I really appreciate that. So if you see it here, that does not necessarily mean that it is actually turned on. They are working on removing the apps that are not approved and making certain the ones that are approved do appear, but we're not at that point yet. When we can get there, you guys will know. If you have an app that you need integration on, there is a request process through the service catalog. I'm losing my words. So you can put a request in and then it'll go through security and we'll see about getting the integration. Also on the Office 365 webpage, office365.osu.edu, along that left-hand side about, I want to say a little more than halfway down, they do have a listing of those that are integrated into our different products and actually how to request the integration. So office365.osu.edu will help you with that. Okay. One other thing I want to show you, because I get this question a lot too. Back out on the main splash screen, and we did manage teams, and I kind of forgot to go through settings. This is important. This is for the overall Microsoft Teams environment, your settings. I get questions about notifications a lot. Some people want them, some people want them to go away. This is where you can control them. And we're talking about email, we're talking about toasts, we're talking about banners. You have a lot of different control in here. You can also change the theme of your teams. If you would prefer a darker background, lighter text, it's easier on some people's eyes. Under privacy, you have read receipts, blocked contacts, don't block people. Here's the notifications, missed activity emails. I have mine set to custom. What do I have in there? Oh, that's right. Trending, I only wanted my feed. I got tired of getting emails and I don't like notifications every time there's a new post. But now it makes sense why I didn't know something the other day. Maybe I should change those. All right, but here, this is where you can come in and make those. Chat, there are some chat notifications. You can get all the way down into people, when individual notifications about different people. Your devices, this is very similar to what I covered when I did the Skype for Business webinars about your audio devices, your headsets. A lot of us are working remotely. I'm impressed with my laptop. It's done great with the webinars with the onboard speaker and microphone. So lots of things you can change in here. We do not have calling turned on yet unless it's team-to-team calling, but eventually that might be in here. So again, settings you might need to modify. Okay, back into this one. So back to our more options menu. We went into manage team, and that showed me the analytics and the members and the overall management of the team. But now let's take a look at editing the team. So we're going to skip a couple options and we're going to go down to the 5th option down in the menu, which is edit team. And this will allow you to go back in and make some changes. But I'm going to give you a piece of advice. Try to name your teams properly from the beginning. Some of you that are already working in Microsoft OneDrive, yay, because you've come through the webinars, have noticed that on the left-hand side of Microsoft OneDrive, you have access to your shared libraries. And shared libraries are really teams. That's what they are. When you create a team, a shared library shows up in your OneDrive if you're a member of the team. The problem is if you change the name of your team, it does not change the name back in OneDrive. It's still the same folder. It's still utilized exactly the same, but the name does not change. Microsoft's aware of that as an issue. I do not know when it will be fixed, but I get that question a lot. So this is where I can change the picture if I want to as well. and I can change the name. So I'm going to call this Team for Webinars 2. So I'll change it back afterwards, no big deal. And then I can either upload a new image or I can continue to use the one that I'm using. I don't want to change it because I uploaded that. So I'm just going to say update. And you'll see that the name has changed here. Why did I miss that page? Okay, let's add more people. This should be super simple. So if I go back to the menu, I can choose add members. Just start adding more people. Who do I have in here? I'll add Beth Varcho. All right, by default member. Let's hope that actually worked this time. So now if I want to manage my team, you'll see Beth Varcho is now in the team. So that is how we add, and we can change their permission levels in the team. All right, I'm going to take 1 second to take a look through some of the questions. List. Let me take a look real quick. Maybe, so our Shabbat, I hope I said your last name right. It says, notice various teams are displayed using cards. Mine show up as a big list. I would assume that you probably back in your settings have this chosen instead of grid. Grid will show you the waffle panels like what I have. Are owners the same as managers? Well, manager isn't technically a role in Microsoft Teams. You've got owners and members. So no, it doesn't equate back to how we look at managers. As far as I know, everybody at Ohio State University has the ability to create teams on the university side. Med Center, I believe that is a request process where a team has to be created. So it doesn't equal a manager per se. When you add team members, does Teams notify the new members? Yes, it does. I know Teresa, who has been added to a bunch of my teams, did tell me it takes a little bit of time. Can voicemails and chats be deleted? Yes, technically, when you hit delete, they're supposed to be deleted. If yours are not being removed, reach out to your IT support or the IT service desk. You're not alone. I have heard some people tell me that, so I would talk to IT. How does Teams interact with OneDrive? I've been discussing that a lot in all of my webinars, where Teams is your collaboration location. This is where everybody collaborates, talks, has their meetings, shares things, works on documents together. OneDrive is your storage location. That is where you're supposed to put everything. OneDrive can see your teams because it can look at the files that are in the teams. I don't know if you want to look at it as Teams stores it in OneDrive or OneDrive looks at it through Teams, but you have to remember they're two separate apps. They just have a lot in common. So that's really it. OneDrive storage, Teams collaboration. Okay. You do have to add each member individually. At this point in time, I've been told that adding a listserv does not work. I think if you had a huge team, that is something that would be discussed during your migration project, and maybe the project team could assist in helping set that up so you're not manually adding them. Maybe they could add them all into the team. I don't know. I'm not on the project team. I know there's ways on the back end of doing it. There's nothing you can do. Chatting. Okay, chatting is just a form of communication. You can chat inside the entire team on the general channel, or you can chat inside just a channel. And then just the people that are part of that channel would get that communication. Let us get to channels, and I think maybe it'll make a little more sense then. No, Ellen, the OneDrive desktop client does not integrate with Teams at this point in time. So the OneDrive desktop client allows you to see files that you have stored in My Files in OneDrive. It does not have access to the shared library content yet. And yes, you can communicate with certain members of your team and not all of them by communicating through the channel, which we'll get to those, I promise. All right. Because I know sometimes they get in there. Okay, so let's get into more content. We've done that. Okay, so let's, as I said, look at a team as targeted communication. So right now, if I talk to everybody and I want to talk to everybody in my team, I'm going to do that on the general channel. I know you won't get to see what they see, which is sad. But when I click Start New Conversation in Posts, because remember, I'm in the Posts tab in General, and everyone has access to General that's in your team. If I want to talk to all of them, I just start typing, okay? Just like we had in Skype for Business. You just start typing, and then I can @ people. So if I say @Teresa Gosser, did you make it in? You can change your formatting using all of these different buttons down here at the bottom. You can change your formatting. You can add attachments. You can use emojis. You can insert GIFs if these haven't been shut off in the settings that I showed you before. Stickers, schedule a meeting on this channel. That means everybody that's on that channel. Video, which would be Meet right now. Streaming, and then this last one, I forget what this is, praised. Oh, I haven't used these. Maybe I should be nicer to people. Oh, that's nice. No? Oh, I did bad habit. Sorry. Look at that. We can send praise. This could replace kudos. I haven't done that before. I should send people praise more often. All right. But it's just a basic chat system. Okay. Oh, look, she's in and she communicated. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate it. All right. But that means everybody that's in this channel has access. So let's create a new channel, super secret channel. So I'm going to go back to the more options and I'm going to choose add channel. Now, this exists only inside of this team. By default, it's accessible to everyone that is in the team. If I want to drop it open, I can choose private. And that way I can specify only certain people in this team have access to this channel. Notice that check mark that was down at the bottom automatically show this channel in everyone's list. It's not there for private because it will only be for people you give access to. So I'm going to say next. And I will add Teresa because I will add Teresa because she's in here. All right, so you'll notice that the channel on now says super secret channel, but also has a lock on the right-hand side. This is a visual indicator to you that this is a private channel, that not everyone has access to it. If I drop open the action menu, I can control notifications that come from a channel, which you also saw on the other notification screen, but this is just for this channel. I can hide the channel, manage the channel, which is very similar to managing the team. We'll get in here in a moment. Add members, get email address. This was actually one of the coolest features that I found. I can email a team or a channel inside of a team, and whatever I email will be posted for everyone to see. I thought that was pretty neat. We'll get to see it here in a moment. You can edit the channel. You can, connectors. I'm not really good at this, but it also has to do with other app integration. Not necessarily the overall use of how to use Teams, but if you have integrations, you got to talk to the team if it's not a standard one. You can delete the channel and members can leave a channel. I'm going to go ahead and manage the channel so you can see what's in there for managing of channels. They seem important today. My phone never goes off this much. Let's see. There's me and there's Teresa. I can elevate her role from here. Anytime you're going into manage, that's where all of your role permissions are going to be. Settings up at the top. Again, these are settings just for this channel. So it's more targeted than what we looked at before. We looked at the settings for the overall team, and these are just for this channel. And then, of course, analytics, but we won't have anything in there because we haven't done anything. All right, to edit the channel, again, we'll go back to the action menu and we'll go down to edit this channel. Really not much here other than the name. Okay. I'm going to get the email address. All right, now when I did this before, it did take a little while for everything to come through. So we will come back and visit this in just a few moments. All right, but let's get back into our channel management. Oh, there it went super fast. So there's the email that you just saw me send. I grabbed the email address, put it in the to field, and that's the result. Okay, and to delete the channel, sorry, Teresa, I'm going to delete this one. This is super important. Delete this channel. You don't actually have to delete channels. You can just hide a channel. That way you don't have to see it in your big long list, especially if it's not something you're currently using right now. I have done this when there's a lull in a project. For a documenter, we get engaged very early in the project, as we should, and I'm super excited about that. But a lot of my work doesn't come until lots of other decisions have been made. So sometimes I will mute a channel because I just don't need to see it, and I'll do that by hiding it instead of deleting. All right, but the channel disappears and it's all gone. I don't remember how long before everything disappears. I want to say 93 days before there's no recovery. Let's take a look again. Oh, yeah, you're the anonymous attendee went back to Karen's question. Yes, I was only talking about voicemails. Chats stay for a year before auto deleting. Chats and posts stay for a year, and there's nothing we can do about that. But voicemails, that's not the case. Sorry, I didn't look at both words in that question, and I apologize. When will Skype for Business finally go away? Teams is so much better. I agree. And I was the Skype lady for the longest. I was box lady and Skype lady for the longest time. It will. I mean, eventually it will. We can't do it right this second, though. There's so many pieces going on to get everybody migrated over. We can also rip their phones away. So we're going to be leaving Skype for Business because that is what manages and monitors our phone lines, any outgoing and incoming calls. So it's going to happen, but not right now. And you're not wrong. Microsoft is getting rid of Skype for Business and rolling everything into Teams. So we don't have a choice. We just don't want to do that to everybody all at once because you have to admit, you guys are taking on a lot right now. If a file is posted to a team is subsequently deleted, it will also be removed from shared libraries. Yes, that is correct. It will also be removed from shared libraries, but again, it will sit in the recycle bin for 93 days out over there in OneDrive. So you should be okay if it does need to be retrieved. I hope I'm not running out of time. I'm running out of time. I'm all way over. Okay. We edited, we got the link. Perfect. Oh, one last thing. If you want to meet with everybody in your channel, like if you want to meet in the entire team or in a channel, in the upper right-hand corner, there is a meet button. So you can meet right now. And there's a couple of other important things here. Your picture is your way to change your status. By default, it should feed off of your calendar, but you can change your status. You can get further into settings. But what I really want to draw everyone's attention to before you run away on me, you'll notice to the left of my name, it says The Ohio State University. This is your organizational link. I am a member of The Ohio State University. That is the tenant I work in. I don't work at the medical center. I don't work at COTC. I don't work anywhere else. I only work here. So they added me to another tenant so I could show you guys. When I click on this, any other tenant you are a guest of, you can flip back and forth here. So I am part of the Ohio State University test tenant. And if I select that, I'm now in a test version of Microsoft Teams. But this is for somebody who maybe you are a COTC student or teacher, and you have to work at Ohio State on Ohio State content, but you're taking a class that's in the COTC tenant. This would be one way of going back and forth. Oh, I'm in the test tenant. I'm sorry. Things were going on back on October 1st. So this is how you switch organizations. I'm sorry. I know that was a lot thrown at you. They gave me 30 minutes. So you got a lot in. You know how to create a team. You know how to manage that team. You know how to create channels. And remember what channels are. It's a targeted work group inside of a team. Consider it a work group. Consider it a subset, whatever you want to. But you have ultimate control as to who sees what in the different channels. And you also know how to switch your organizations. So thank you. Continue to put any questions in the Q&A you'd like, and have a great day.